Yeah, we do video.
Have. Oh, okay. Way, but maybe I'll bring it a little.
You might have your computer.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Turn it on.
Yeah, so it's on now. The light's on.
Stan, ready?
Are you ready, Dan? I think so.
Why is mine?
Why is it blinking? Because you're on. Click the white button. Mine's flashing.
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 Good evening. I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Campbell City Council on Monday, July 31st, 2023. And I'd like to welcome our Deputy Clerk, Kristen, who's with us this evening, and ask you to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lopez.
Here.
Councilmember Scazola.
Here.
Councilmember Furtado.
Here.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Present.
Mayor Bybee.
Present. And if we would all stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Vice Mayor Landry will be leading us.
All right, ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have no special presentations or proclamations this evening, and no communications and petitions. Next is our oral request section. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the City Council on any matter not on the agenda. Persons wishing to address the council are requested but not required to complete a speaker's card. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. The law generally prohibits the council from discussion or taking action on such items. However, the council may instruct staff accordingly regarding oral requests. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak on any item not on tonight's agenda? And I do have 2 speaker cards. The first is Jeremy Blanchard. If you'd like to come to the podium, please. And begin.
I think you have to hit the button.
Yeah.
One of
Just
the
tap.
lights on that round thing.
Thanks. It's been about 7 years since I've been up here, so thank you very much for allowing me to come up this evening. My name is Jeremy Blanchard. I am the owner of the pay parking lot over here right on 345 East Campbell Avenue. And I'm here tonight to introduce myself again. A lot of people may not know me, but we are trying to work with the city to see if we can find some type of common ground to deal with our parking lot over here. I've also brought our owner over here as well of the land there, and to discuss ways that we can try to see how we can do this together that's going to benefit the city, as I've been dealing with the city for many, many years. So I'm trying to get on your guys' next council meeting and trying to work with what the city has talked to us about and what their stipulations are, so that we can try to make sure we don't ruffle any feathers anyway, but make sure that we are all happy and come to a good conclusion on this. So I hope to see you guys again.
Thank you.
I mean, I have a lot of other things to say, but obviously at this moment, it's not going to be relevant.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And it's my understanding that you need to meet with our code enforcement staff, and that hasn't happened. So the best course of action would be to contact the code enforcement.
I've actually talked with the planning, and also code enforcement has been given. I know I'm past my 2 minutes, so okay, but if you'd let me finish, or
Go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So we're in the process of dealing and talking and trying to come to some reasoning of what's going to be best for everyone on this aspect.
Okay, so that's the best course of action, is to work with staff before and if it would come to council. So
After talking with staff, I've already been kind of directed to come to council, but yes, ma'am. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Our next speaker is Debbie Edwards.
That's fine.
No, it's on.
Oh, it's on.
It's on. Hi, my name is Debbie Edwards, and I am the property assistant, power of attorney for Joseph Xavier Sanchez, who is the owner of the existing paid parking lot. Jeremy and his partner Aaron are tenants. And so I just reiterate what Jeremy has said, and there is we did another lease with them last year. And now we're being told that we're out of compliance. And so we're really looking for some additional dialogue between City of San Jose and City of Campbell, 10, yeah, too many properties, and current tenants, because we're sort of in an awkward position as we have an existing lease.
Okay,
So we're hoping to be able to speak further.
thank you. Again, I will, if you would contact staff in the morning to follow up, that would be the most appropriate course of action. Are there any other oral requests? And I don't see anyone online. Just one double check. We don't have anyone online that wants to speak. Okay, so that is moves us to council announcements, and I have a few tonight. And just so I'm checking, it sounds like there's a lot of feedback. Is there? Okay, thank you. I think so. Yeah. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to the annual State of the City address. Please join me as I discuss the city's recent accomplishments, our resilience during and after COVID, and information on upcoming projects, including Measure O. The State of the City address will be held at the Orchard City Banquet Hall on Wednesday, September 13th. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. with the event beginning promptly at 6. Please RSVP to Mayor State of the City at campbellca.gov by Wednesday, September 6th. The city's clerk's office is accepting applications for the Planning Commission until 5 p.m. on Friday, August 11th. To find out more about this position or to apply, please contact the city clerk's office at 408-866-2117 or visit the city's website at campbellca.gov. The City of Campbell's summer concert series will wrap up on Thursday, August 3rd with local rock band Manic. Admission is free and will start at 6:30 p.m. on the Orchard City Green. Bring a lawn chair and enjoy the fun. Make a difference in our community today. Become a part of history. Join the exciting team of volunteers at the Ainsley House. The Ainsley House is seeking volunteers for greeters and docents. For more information, please visit campbellmuseums.com. And finally, back to school means sharing the road. As the school year begins, please remember to keep an eye out for young students who are walking or bicycling to school. Pay attention to school zones, avoid distractions, stay alert, take extra precaution when you're behind or approaching a school bus, and be prepared for more traffic and for more motorists making sudden stops. Help make our schools safe places to walk and bike. Okay. We'll now move to the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the City Council to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a request is made by a member of the council, city staff, or a member of the public. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the consent calendar should ask to have the item removed from the consent calendar prior to the time the council votes to approve. If removed, the item will be discussed in the order in which it appears. And I have a request to remove item number 8 for discussion. And are there anyone else want to remove an item? Anyone in the audience? If not, could I have a motion to approve items 1 through 7 then, please?
I'll make a motion to approve items 1 through 7.
Second.
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Landry and a second by Councilmember Lopez to approve the consent calendar items 1 through 7. Could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Scazola.
Aye.
Councilmember Furtado.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Aye.
Mayor Bybee.
Aye. And Councilmember Lopez, if you'd like to lead off the discussion on item 8. Oh, I should read that item 8 is a contract for crossing guard services to all city management services, ACMS.
Sure, and I'll just start and say how much I appreciate staff in our police department collaboration on this to meet what at least I have heard, and probably all of us is a key community concern. Maybe just reading about the safety concerns, and now that we're getting back to school, and I just want to celebrate this as a great example of the city working together with our schools, where we used to kind of have a little bit more of a well, I won't go over the whole history, but we've had great collaboration going back a while, but the recruitment just got very challenging. And what I'm really proud of is, instead of throwing our hands up and saying, well, we tried to do something, it's not a city issue, is that we're listening to the community and finding another solution and going forward that I think in the long run is going to be even more sustainable and help meet the safety needs of our community. But I know when I'm talking with parents, they may not know if it's a school, city, county, et cetera issue, that what they care about is that their kids are safe and can get to school, and that we don't have accidents. And so really proud of our city, again, our PD and staff for taking this kind of approach. And I think it's a great example, the kind of collaboration, innovation that I'm seeing more and more of, and just want to celebrate that.
Thank you. Any other council members? Council members Gazzola?
Yeah, I love seeing this. I would ditto everything that Councilmember Lopez just said, and also add that for me, it's very near and dear to my heart. This is actually one of the issues that I ran on originally, was more public safety, specifically crossing guards as an example of that. And I'm just so happy, and working on the education subcommittee with Vice Mayor Landry, we also prioritize that in the safe routes to school. So really happy to see this.
Yeah, I want to give a kudos to PD for working with the different schools, and the fact that the schools districts were making contributions, that it's not all on our dime. As Councilmember Scazola said, tomorrow is our education subcommittee meeting, and this is one of our two topics, this and the safe routes to school, and just how important it is to have crossing guards to make sure that our kids are safe as they're heading to school. So we really appreciate that this is coming forward.
Thank you. Councilmember Furtado?
I'll add a comment.
Computers.
Likewise, I would just say that we've had a long history in Campbell of providing crossing guards and working closely with our schools. I know we are two separate government agencies, but likewise, we have cooperated over the years and worked well together. So definitely I support this.
And I'll also add on to that, I do appreciate the collaboration that went on between the school district and the police department, and also partnering with an outside firm to provide the service to relieve our city from having to hire the personnel to do the work, or to do the crossing guards. So with that, I would entertain a motion for.
I'll make a motion to approve item 8 on the agenda packet, including the desk item.
And I'll second.
Thank you. So there's a motion by Vice Mayor Landry and the second by Councilmember Lopez to approve the staff recommendation on item number 8, including the desk item. Could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Scazola.
Aye.
Councilmember Furtado.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Aye.
Mayor Bybee.
Aye. Thank you. Tonight we have no public hearings or introduction of ordinances, so we'll move on to new business, which is item 9, Police Department duty pistol and related equipment purchase. And our presenter will be our police captain, Dan Livingston.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, honorable council members. The item before you is in regards to the replacement of the officer's current duty pistols, which were purchased approximately 10 years ago. The pistols and associated equipment are reaching the end of their service life for reliable duty use and need to be replaced. $150,000 was previously approved for service pistol replacement in the capital improvement plan for fiscal year 24. In 2022, staff began testing and evaluating new potential duty pistol options. Staff additionally researched red dot optics for the service pistols, which have become an industry standard for law enforcement pistols based on increased accuracy, faster acquisition, and a greater field of view for the officer. Currently, all officers have red dot optics on their carbines. At the conclusion of our evaluation, four possible duty pistols, the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 9mm was overwhelmingly selected as the range staff's first choice, in addition to it being the first choice of the officers as a whole. Staff contacted 7 large reputable police supply distributors for quotes. One of the issues with purchasing these types that we have experienced in the past is finding reliable vendors who can provide all of the items requested. Vendors who also have a relationship directly with the manufacturers, who can get items within a reasonable time, who can also deal with issues that arise. The police department previously made purchases from 5 of the 7 vendors. Of the 7 vendors, only 2 vendors provided quotes that included firearms, and the difference between those quotes was only $1,200. Having dealt with and spoken with bulk firearms distributors for the past 2 decades, I know there is not a significant price markup in bulk firearm sales and associated equipment if you want to stay competitive. Other vendors either did not respond with a quote, did not carry the requested pistol, or were not bulk distributors of the requested items and could not be competitive with pricing. Staff recommends pursuant to Campbell Community Code 3.20.030 per NA that the City Council determine that it's in the best interest of the public to dispense with the formal bidding requirements of CMC 3.20.50 and authorize the purchase of new pistols and accessories from Adamson's Police Products for the following reasons. Adamson Police Products can provide both the pistol and all accessories. They provided the lowest responsive quote and are a reputable business the City of Campbell has previously made purchases from in the past. Adamson's is also located in the Bay Area in Livermore, which would make potential exchanges or returns easier, which we've experienced in the past with these types of orders. Regarding training costs for transition to the new pistols, we will use one of our already scheduled range training days to accomplish this so we don't incur any additional overtime. Each officer's proficiency is evaluated by range staff. If additional training is required, although we have not needed that in the past 2 pistol transitions, we would not allow the officer to go in service with the equipment until the officer and range staff are confident in the officer's abilities. This transition is unique in that we also be switching to red dot sights. This transition requires a 2-day post-approved course. We already have certified instructors who can teach the course, so we don't need to spend money sending officers to outside vendors. In addition, some of the officers have already attended a red dot transition course. The transition course and the red dot course will run consecutively, giving the officers even more time to become accustomed to the equipment before going in service. And we do have sufficient funds in our currently approved training budget for the additional 2-day red dot training class. This concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Captain. Are there any questions of the council? Vice Mayor Landry?
Thank you very much. Can you, just for the public's benefit, explain the red dot? I'm assuming it's some kind of laser sight, or no? What does that mean, red dot?
It's not optics? It doesn't project out a laser. It's essentially a glass, a circular glass viewing port that you look through. And in the center of that is a red dot. So as you hold it up, you'll just see a red dot between you and the target. So it
And
doesn't
then-
project out a laser onto anything.
So the red dot is focusing where you're supposed to basically shoot. Okay, just for clarification, I thought that would be good to hear. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Anyone in the council chamber have any questions? And I don't see anybody online. So I will bring it back to council for discussion and or a motion.
If there's no discussion, based on the recommendation of Captain Livingston and the police department, I would move the adoption of item 9.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilmember Furtado and a second by Councilmember Lopez to approve the staff recommendation. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Scazola.
Aye.
Councilmember Furtado.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Aye.
Mayor Bybee.
Aye. Item 10 is amendment to the classification and salary plan, housing manager and temporary limited term project manager, police training coordinator. And our presenter is our human resource manager, Jenny Lee Christensen. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. The recommended action for this item is to adopt a resolution amending the classification and salary plan to include these two new classifications of housing manager and the temporary limited term project manager police training coordinator. For the classification of housing manager, a total comp was done for both the salary and job description to support this classification. And both of these positions were included in FY 24's budget. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Council members have any.
Are there any questions from the council on this item? Okay. And is there any member of the public wishing to speak on this item? And I don't see anybody online, so I'll bring it back to council for discussion and or a motion.
I don't see anybody jumping in, so I make a motion that the city council adopt, I'm sorry, let's start over. City council adopt a resolution amending the classification and salary plan to include two new classifications for housing manager and temporary limited term project manager, police training coordinator.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Vice Mayor Landry and a second by Councilmember Lopez to approve the staff recommendation. May I have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Scazola.
Aye.
Councilmember Furtado.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Aye.
Mayor Bybee.
Aye. Item 11 is reclassify finance manager to assistant finance director. And our presenter is human resources manager, Jenny Lee Christensen.
The recommended action for this is that council adopt a resolution reclassifying the finance manager classification to assistant finance director classification, including the salary ranges, both the salary ranges and the job spec. Was a total compensation was done for this position to make sure that it aligns with the labor market for in pay and in jobs description. And I'm happy to answer any questions if council has any questions regarding this classification.
Thank you. Are there any questions of the council on this item? Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this item? And I don't see anybody online, so I'll bring it back to council for a discussion and a motion. Councilmember Lopez.
Yeah, I'll just make a brief comment. I really appreciate through the budget process this year, there's been a lot of transparency. And so the reason why I don't have any questions is because we touched on this item before, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I appreciate our approach to staying competitive here, and I'll support the recommendation.
Thank you. Any other comments? How about a motion?
All right.
I will move that based on the recommendation of council, adopt item number 11.
Second.
Thank you. So we have a motion by Councilmember Furtado and a second by Councilmember Scazola to approve the staff recommendation. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Scazola.
Aye.
Councilmember Furtado.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Aye.
Mayor Bybee.
Aye. We have no unfinished business tonight, and this will take us to item number 12, which is council committee reports. And who would like to start? Councilmember Furtado?
Okay, just two brief things. I had the opportunity to attend the annual employee recognition lunch hosted by the West Valley Sanitation District for their employees. It's an annual event, very nice event. The employees, most of whom have been there for many years, and they do an excellent job. It's a small staff, and as you know, they provide sanitation services for the district, which includes the four cities, Montezurino, Saratoga, Los Gatos, Campbell, and the unincorporated part of the county within our geographic jurisdiction. So it was good to do that. I also had the opportunity to attend the Silicon Valley Regional Interoperability meeting, and we heard a very optimistic report. The district is, in fact, well-funded. The system works very well, and it allows our emergency personnel throughout all of Santa Clara County to communicate with one another and patch in where necessary to meet their communication needs. So we do plan to have a workshop in the near future. We'll be looking at our long-term funding. Right now, we have a very healthy reserve for that purpose, but technology changes, as you know, over time, and we have to also continue to plan for replacement of equipment as it becomes outdated and old and or needs repair. So we're going to be having a workshop for long-term planning purposes. But I'm very pleased to report that, as I said, interoperability was something we in this county have been working on for many years. And over the last several years, it's been very successful in the actual implementation of the authority itself. And so we'll move ahead. I'll keep you posted. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Landry?
Yeah, thank you. So first I attended a ribbon cutting ceremony with the Chamber of Commerce last Thursday. I think it was last Thursday, for a new business in over off of Bascom. It's a laser light physical therapy. It was pretty interesting, new technology and laser light therapy. Also, last Thursday, I attended the Economic Development Subcommittee. We had a wonderful report from our consultants that we have. Leslie Parks, our internal project manager, but we also had the team of economic consultants. Gave a lot of information, background on where sales tax is, where our shopping centers are, some next steps of how we move forward. They identified, they had a business survey and a resident survey, and they had some summary information, and we got to put little dots on which ones we thought were priorities. And the next step is going to be starting to look at branding. And I think that's what's really going to be important for us, is what is our brand? What is it that we're trying to project? But also, how do we bring more economics and tax revenue and revenue into Campbell? Tomorrow is our education subcommittee meeting, where we'll get to tell them, yay, we passed the crossing guard. We're also going to have an update, I think, from Brian about the safe routes to school. We have a consultant on that, or Todd, maybe he'll be there. I don't know. We'll have an update. And then the Santa Clara Valley Water District's Policy Advisory Committee is having a tour of the water purification facility next week.
Thank you. Councilmember Lopez?
Yeah, I'll also echo, had a great meeting of the Economic Development Subcommittee. I'll add a couple things, since the Vice Mayor covered it really well. Just from my perspective, I think the consultants that we have are really top notch, really some subject matter experts in very particular fields, very knowledgeable, answered questions, seem to be doing a great job of doing comprehensive community outreach. I do want to add that the materials, what they call working papers, and there were, I think, 8 of them that we reviewed, are also available for the public. So any residents or anyone who's interested who wants to see more information and just kind of where we are as a baseline, I encourage you to do it. Is that on our website? Where can that? Yeah, on a, great. Oh, perfect. Great. Thanks. So available on our website now. I learned a lot. So I think if you're a Campbell resident or do business in resident, it would be interesting reading. I do appreciate very much also all the participants of experts from businesses, associations, other city staff who are contributing their time. Thank you to Amy Taylor, who was part of that committee as well. I'm very much appreciated. So really looking forward to that process and what comes out of it. And I know before too long, there'll be a couple more council meetings where they'll present to the entire council. So I'll say that. And then I do also want to mention that we, I'm surprised no one else has, but we had what I thought was a great city council retreat with our executive team staff. I know it seems like it was so long ago already, but really positive full day and first time I believe that seems anyone can remember that executive staff has done that with council. So again, really excited to see what work comes out of that. And I have to mention this because of multiple hats. But of course, this weekend we also had Taylor Swift come to town, and I bring that up specifically because in my capacity as the West Valley representative for VTA, I did a lot of work with staff behind the scenes to make sure that VTA had enough trains, massive effort behind the scenes. With nearly every light rail train being utilized, a lot of overtime and recruitment that had to go to make that happen, but completely broke all our ridership records, which is great. And hopefully we'll keep seeing some of those as regular users of public transit. Also a lot of great work, both with myself and with VTA staff working with BART and Caltrain. So some great cooperation going on there, which is always great to see.
Great, thank you. And Councilmember Scazola?
Yeah, so as the mayor mentioned, the summer concerts have been going on. We have one going on currently, and we will have another one this Thursday. I bring that up because I was in the Historical Museum and Ainsley House Foundation Committee, and so they're going really well. I know I already said that, but the concessions have been basically selling out, and all the proceeds go towards helping in preservation efforts at the Ainsley House. So I encourage anyone to come on out if you haven't done so already, or come on out even if you have. If you've gone to all the concerts, please keep coming out, keep buying those concessions and helping us with the restoration projects at the Ainsley House. Yeah, that's about it for now.
Thank you. And thank you for mentioning the council staff retreat, Councilmember Lopez. It was a good day and I think productive, and thank you to our executive team for participating. And I attended the opening ceremony of the Cancer Society Relay for Life event that took place this weekend at the community center, and it seemed like they were off to a good start and good fundraising effort this weekend. And that's all I have. Councilmember Furtado.
Thank you. There's one thing I should have mentioned earlier. Thank you for indulging me. Today marks the end of a month of daily commemorations and events by our Parks and Recreation Director, Natasha Bissell. I'd like to thank you and recognize you for all of your hard work and all the things that happened during this past month and all the work your staff put into. So it's an exciting time. Thanks for the extra concert tonight.
Yeah.
Too bad we couldn't be there ourselves.
Well, we have 30 minutes.
Yeah, we still have time.
And with that, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you all.